सर्वेषां नमस्कारः, सुप्रभातं, शुभ नवरात्रि, शुभ नवरात्रि।
शुभ नवरात्रि।
अद्य नवरात्रि कारणेन वयं महालक्ष्मी अष्टकं वदामः, अतः तदा एव प्रारम्भं कुर्मः। महालक्ष्मी अष्टकात् एव प्रारम्भं कुर्मः। अतः अहम् अत्र डिस्प्ले करोमि। 8 जनाः अद्य भागं स्वीकुर्वन्ति इति मन्ये, अतः प्रारम्भं कुर्मः। अतः अद्य किञ्चित् परिवर्तनम् अस्माकं शैली। कोऽपि वदति ते वदतु, अहम् अनुवदामि, तादृश एक शैली अद्य स्वीकुर्मः। So if Neena ji is starting, she can recite. I will follow Neena ji. So it could be like that. So we could have all the 8 of you recite one each, and then we can decide how you want the Palastuti to be done. Either you all can decide or I can recite, not a problem. Okay?
Astu Guru, astu.
So I will display it on the screen now. Jai Shri Krishna, Mahalakshmi Ashtakam, Indra Uvacha.
Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. Namastestu Mahamaye Sri
Namastestu Mahamaye.
Namastestu Mahamaye.
Namastestu Mahamaye.
Okay. Namastestu Mahamaye Shri Pithe Shurapujite.
Shri Pite Surapujite.
Shankha Chakra Gada Haste.
Shankha Chakra Gada Haste.
Mahalakshmi Namostute.
Mahalakshmi Namostute.
Namaste Garudarude.
Namaste Garudarude.
Kolasura Bhayankari.
Kolasura Bhayankari.
Sarva Papa Hare Devi.
Sarva Papa Hare Devi.
Mahalakshmi Namostute.
Mahalakshmi Namostute.
सर्वज्ञे सर्ववरदे
सर्वज्ञे सर्ववरदे
सर्वदुष्टभयङ्करी
सर्वदुष्टभयङ्करी
सर्वदुःखहरे देवी
सर्वदुःखहरे देवी
महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते।
महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते।
सिद्धि बुद्धि प्रदे देवी
सिद्धि बुद्धि प्रदे देवी
भुक्ति मुक्ति प्रदायिनी
भुक्ति मुक्ति प्रदायिनी
मंत्र मूर्ते सदा देवी
मंत्रमूर्ते सदा देवी
महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते।
महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते।
आद्यन्तरहिते देवी
आद्यन्तरहिते देवी
आदिशक्ति महेश्वरी
आदिशक्ति महेश्वरी
योगज्ञे योग संभूते
योगज्ञे योग संभूते
महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते।
महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते।
स्थूल सूक्ष्म महारौद्रे
स्थूल सूक्ष्म महारौद्रे
महाशक्ति महोदरे
महाशक्ति महोदरे
महापाप हरे देवी
महापाप हरे देवी
महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते।
महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते।
Padmasanasthite Devi
Padmasanasthite Devi
Parabrahma Swarupini
Parabrahmaswarupini
Parameshi Jaganmatar
Parameshi Jaganmatar
Mahalakshmi Namostute.
Mahalakshmi Namostute Parameshi Jaganmatar Mahalakshmi Namostute
श्वेताम्बरधरे देवी
Shvetambaradare Devi
नानालङ्कारभूषिते
Nanalankara-bhushite
जगत्स्थिते जगन्मातर
Jagastite Jaganmatar
महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते
Mahalakshmi Namostute
Mahalakshmi
Mahalakshmi Ashtakam Stotram
Mahalakshmi Ashtakam Stotram Yah Pate Bhaktiman Naraha
Yaf Pated Bhaktiman Naraha
Sarvasiddhi Sarvasiddhimavapnoti
Sarvasiddhimavapnoti
Rajyam Prapnoti Sarvada
Rajyam Prapnoti Sarvadha
एककाले पाठे नित्यम्
Ekakale Pate Nityam
महापापविनाशनम्
Mahapapa Vinashanam
द्विकालं यः पठे नित्यम्
Dvikalam Yaf Pate Nityam
धनधान्यसंवितः
Dhanadhanya Samanvitaha
धनधान्यसमन्वितः
त्रिकालं यः पठे नित्यं
Trikalam Yaf Pate Nityam
महाशत्रुविनाशनम्
Mahashatru Vinashanam
महालक्ष्मीर्भवेन्नित्यं
Mahalakshmir Bhave Nityam
प्रसन्ना वरदा शुभा
Prasanna Varada Shubha
म-
Mahalakshmi Ashtakam Sampurnam Ram 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 Ram. I was thinking Anu Bhagini, Raji Bhagini and Sujata Shankar Bhagini miss their slot. So I wouldn't want anybody to miss their slot. So let's do a rerun if that's okay. And it's punyam to recite Mahalakshmi Ashtakam once more. So
after 7 who's doing?
eighth one was Renu Bhagini actually. The list that I can see here is 1 Lakshmi, 2 Neenaji, 3 Sujata Mundra Bhagini, 4 Anu Bhagini, 5 Raj Mahodaya, 6
Correct.
Raji Bhagini, 7 Sujata Shankar Bhagini, and 8 is Renu Bhagini. I didn't want to interrupt the flow, so I just left it at that. So we could do it so that we could perfect it also.
No, let's
So-
also assign 9th and 11th.
Okay, who wants to do 9
Palashruti.
and 11?
I'll do
Palashruti.
9.
Okay,
I'll do 10.
okay. We just have one more. Who's grabbing it?
I can do it.
Okay, Sujata Shankar Bhagini. Astu. So let's start all over again. I'll share the screen. Shri Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. As we recite this, please do visualize the Shirabdi Matana of Bhagavan, where a lot of things come out, and there comes Goddess Mahalakshmi. She is adorned with all possible jewelries and weapons which depict all the tattvas. You know, there are so many concepts like how the time revolves. So the Shanka is there, the Manas tattva is there. All the tattvas are in the form of different ornaments, different weapons that she's adorning. Her attire is now looking like pure white in color because she's coming from the Milky Ocean. And that attire represents the Shuddha Sattva. We all have all these different gunas. Sattva guna is what all of us aim for. And Mata Mahalakshmi is filled with Sattva guna. She is an embodiment, which is represented by the white color of her attire. So Shweta Varna. And then she goes there, and Garuda is there. Garuda is representing all the Vedas. She is now sitting on top of Garuda along with Bhagavan. And she gets married to Bhagavan, because of which he gets the name Madhava. And all the Indradi Devas are worshipping them, saying that, she is the fortune. She can help us get rid of all the papas. She is the one who they have to surrender to. So all this visual can go on in our mind as we recite the stotra, because we are aware of the meaning and the outline. So let this be a meditative experience as we progress within this entire recitation of Ashtakam. Shri Indra Uvacha.
Namaste Mahamaye.
Namastestu Mahamaye.
Shri Pithe Surapujite.
Shri Pithe Surapujite.
Shankha Chakra Gada Haste.
Shankha Chakra Gada Haste.
Mahalakshmi Namostute.
Mahalakshmi Namostute.
Namaste Garudarude.
Namaste Garudarude.
Kola Surabhayankari.
Kola Surabhayankari.
Sarva Papa Hare Devi.
Sarva Papa Hare Devi.
Mahalakshmi Namostute.
Mahalakshmi Namostute.
Sarvagne Sarvavarade.
Sarvajne Sarvavarade.
Sarvadushta Bhayankari.
Sarvadushta Bhayankari.
Sarvadukha Hare Devi.
Sarvadukha Hare Devi.
Mahalakshmi Namostute.
Mahalakshmi Namostute.
सिद्धि बुद्धि प्रदे देवी
Siddhi Buddhi Prade Devi.
भुक्ति मुक्ति प्रदायिनी
Bhukti Mukti Pradayini.
मंत्र मूर्ते सदा देवी
Mantra Murte Sada Devi.
महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते
Mahalakshmi Namostute.
आद्यन्तरहिते देवी
Adyantarahite Devi.
आदिशक्ति महेश्वरी
Adi Shakti Maheshwari.
योगज्ञे योग संभूते
Yogagne Yoga Sambhute.
महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते
Mahalakshmi Namostute. Sthula Sukshma Maharaudre.
Stula Sukshma Maharaudre.
Mahashakti Mahodare.
Mahashakti Mahodare.
Mahapapa Hare Devi.
Mahapapa Hare Devi.
Mahalakshmi Namostute.
Mahalakshmi Namostute.
Padmasanasthite Devi.
Padmasanasthite Devi.
Parabrahmaswarupini.
Parabrahmaswarupini.
Parameshi Jaganmata.
Parameshi Jaganmatar.
Mahalakshmi Namostute.
Parameshi Jaganmatar. Mahalakshmi Namostute.
श्वेतांबरधरे देवी
Shvetambaradhare Devi.
नानालंकार भूषिते
Nana Lankara Bhushite.
जगत्स्थिते जगन्मातर
जगत्स्थिते जगन्मातर
महालक्ष्मी नमोऽस्तु ते।
जगत्स्थिते जगन्मातर महालक्ष्मी नमोऽस्तु ते।
महालक्ष्य महालक्ष्यष्टकस्तोत्रम्
महालक्ष्म्यष्टकस्तोत्रम्
यः पठेत् भक्तिमान् नरः
यः पठेत् भक्तिमान् नरः
सर्वसिद्धिमवाप्नोति
सर्वसिद्धिमवाप्नोति
राज्यं प्राप्नोति सर्वदा।
राज्यं प्राप्नोति सर्वदा।
एककाले पठेन्नित्यम्
एककाले पठेन्नित्यम्
महापापविनाशनम्
महापापविनाशनम्
द्विकालं य पठेन्नित्यम्
द्विकालं यः पठेन्नित्यम्
धनधान्यसमन्वितः
धनधान्यसमन्वितः
त्रिकालं यः पठेत् नित्यं
त्रिकालं यः पठेन्नित्यम्
the screen on.
महाशत्रुविनाशनम् महाशत्रुविनाशनम्
महालक्ष्मीर्भवे नित्यम्
महालक्ष्मीर्भवेन्नित्यम्
प्रसन्ना वरदा शुभा।
प्रसन्ना वरदा शुभा. Sujata Bhagini, you want to repeat it once more?
Yeah, please.
You're not able to see the
Trikalam
screen?
yah pat- Yeah, I'm able to see it now. Trikalam yah pate nityam
Trikalam yah patennityam
mahashatru vinashanam
mahashatruvinashanam
mahalakshmir bhave nityam
महालक्ष्मीर्भवेन्नित्यम्
prasanna varada shubha.
प्रसन्ना वरदा शुभा. श्री महालक्ष्मी अष्टकं संपूर्णम्. नारायण. Just one or two things I would like to share my observations. Compared to the previous time, pronunciation of most of it was a lot closer to what is actually to be pronounced. So it was a lot of progress. The one or two places is the Jaganmatar Mahalakshmi. When we recite, it is a good idea to avoid splitting it because it's a single word. So don't try to take a break in between this word. So Jaganmatar Mahalakshmi is not right. So it can become Jaganmataha Mahalakshmi, or even better is Parameshi Jaganmatar Mahalakshmi Namostute. Try to recite it in a single breath. That's the ideal thing. Similarly, the next line also. Jagatstite Jaganmatar Mahalakshmi Namostute. Try to do that in a single breath. That way the pronunciation will be fine. And this Mahalakshmi Ashtaka Stotram, so that should come like this. Mahalakshmi Ashtaka Stotram. Mahalakshmi Ashtaka Stotram. So there we had some difficulty in pronunciation. Other than that, I think most of it was closer to what it's supposed to be. Jai Shri Krishna. So comfortable everybody with this? Okay, so we can start with this for our Navarathri. Ataha etad stotram idanim vayam patitavantaha mama chintane katam mantra rupe sada devi iti indradevaha uktavan iti eva spuritam. Chintayetu Mahalakshmi Mata tatra asit भूतकाले सा तत्र आसीत् कदा समुद्रमथनसमये सा आसीत् किन्तु इदानीं वयं वदामः तर्हि माता कुत्रापि कदापि आसीत् इत्येव चिन्तनं भवति खलु अस्माकम् अतः इदानीमपि सा अस्ति अस्माकं समीपे एव अस्ति अस्माकं मुखात् यत् मन्त्रं वयं वदामः तत्र सा अस्ति इति चेत् कीदृश एकः भावः आगच्छति अतः एतद् मन्त्रं यदा वयं वदामः सा अत्र अस्ति इति इन्द्रः वदति कदा अस्ति सर्वदा अस्ति मन्त्ररूपे सदा देवी महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते इति इन्द्रः वदति अतः तत्पदं केवलम् अस्माकं कृते इति भावः यदा भवति तदा एक उत्तम अनुभवं वयं प्राप्तुं शक्नुमः so if we just look at this mantra this entire thing it happened during samudra mathana sometime long back when Indra and asuras were actually trying to get the amrita but the phrase Indra has used is so relevant for us and makes the stotra connect to us very easily so he is mentioned mantra rupe sada devi mahalakshmi namostute so was she in that form earlier as explained yes she was there but for our sake she is also in the form of this mantra so when we recite the mantras she is there in the form of mantras itself just as how air takes the form wherever it enters water takes the form of whichever container it gets into Mata Mahalakshmi enters the mantras he says so mantra rupe she is there in the form of mantra so when you recite the mantra she is there when is she there sada devi she is always there in the form of mantras so when we recite the mantra mata is there with us so when we get that connectivity with mata our entire experience the anubhava of reciting the stotra becomes very different mantramurte sada devi mahalakshmi namostute she's always reciting in the form of mantras so we can invite her with this mantra she will be with us that is the anubhava and the other beautiful thing that makes this whole stotra very very relevant to us is indraha vadati mahodare iti maha udaram tasyaha iti indraha vadati udaraha ityukte stomach khalu mahodare she has such a huge udara huge belly kimartam atra vidyamana sampurna jeevarasayah tatah eva agatah khalu all the species that we see here came from her she is the mata of all the jagat so if everything has to be contained in her tummy how huge should she be all the worlds all the cosmos every living being we can ever think about everything is there in her tummy so she is mahodare she has such a big stomach now think about it what does this communicate to us that each of us have actually come from her which means that she is our mata so irrespective of the greatness she is sarva varade she can grant all possible boons sarva shakti she has all possible shaktis she is maheshwari she is the ultimate goddess bhagavati everything is there in spite of all that I might get scared because she's such a big person but then she is my mata mahodare I came from her stomach so it is like such a great person is my mother so what kind of an advantage I have so that connectivity with mata can be established in this which makes her absolutely accessible to us so she's available to us all the time you call her as a mantra she comes to you she gives sarva varade if the mother is not going to give something to the child who else is going to give so that mata is there to give me whatever I want so that kind of a bhava is again created in this so she is waiting to give us whatever we want pampering the little child in us so we can get whatever we want so that is again in this mantra so with all this visual if we recite this it gives us a very beautiful connection with our mata hello atah mahalakshmi namah madhavaya namah ram 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 uttamam atah shubha navaratri shubhodayah abhavat idanim atah idanim kinchit sambhashanam kurmah प्रत्येकः कृपया वदन्तु नवरात्रि समये किं किं भवन्तः चिन्तयन्ति महारात्रि नवरात्रि उत्सव समये किं कर्तुम् इच्छन्ति नवरात्रि इत्युक्ते भवन्तः किं चिन्तयन्ति? नवरात्रि इत्युक्ते को वा अर्थः? तदा किं कर्तुम् इच्छन्ति? अन्यथा किमपि 4-5 वाक्यानि प्रत्येकः वदति चेत् सम्यक् भवति। आम्। कः आरम्भं कर्तुम् इच्छति? का आरम्भं कर्तुम् इच्छति? राजमहोदयः अपि गतवान् इति मन्ये, अतः का इच्छति? तर्हि अहं प्रारम्भं करोमि, अन्यैः अनन्तरं वदन्तु। इदानीं मम नवरात्रि तु किञ्चित् भिन्ना भवति इति मन्ये। किमर्थम् इत्युक्ते इदानीम् अद्य आरभ्य शुक्रवासरपर्यन्तं सिंहपुरे भवामि। शनिवासरात् आरभ्य मम द्वितीयभागनवरात्रि भारतदेशे भवति। अतः उत्तम एक व्यवस्था अभवत् इदानीं। ह्यः आरभ्य एव अन्यैः गृहं गत्वा ताम्बूलस्वीकरणं सर्वं प्रारम्भः जातः। अतः उत्तम एक अनुभवः। पूर्वम् अहं नवरात्रिविषये किञ्चित् भाषणं सर्वं कृतवती। अतः अद्य आरभ्य तत् प्रेषयामि इति अपि मम इच्छा। तमिळ् माध्यमेन मक्कल् टीवी मध्ये मम भाषणं पूर्वम् आगतं, तदपि प्रेषयामि। गतवर्षे शैलजा भगिन्याः निमित्तम् अहं लघु कैप्सूल्स् इव आङ्ग्ले कृतवती, तदपि प्रेषयामि इति एक चिन्तनं नवरात्रि समयम् इति कारणात्। अतः तद् विषयद्वयमपि भविष्यति। अस्तु, इदानीम् अन्य कोऽपि वक्तुम् इच्छति चेत् कृपया वदन्तु।
अहं इदवर्ष कलकत्ता प्रान्ते आगच्छामि। अद्य नवरात्रि प्रथम दिवस अस्ति। इदानीं माता पूजा स्थापनं करोमि। बंगाल प्रान्ते महोत्सव सर्वेषु प्रधान उत्सव भवति। गृहे गृहे दुर्गाया मूर्ति स्थापनं भवति। पूजा पंडाले दुर्गाया मूर्ति अति सुंदरम अस्ति।
आहा, उत्तमम् उत्तमम्। कदा गमिष्यति?
सॉरी, आई डिडंट हियर।
कदा कलकत्ता गमिष्यति भवती?
कलकत्ता आगच्छामि।
कदा गच्छति? अद्य
अद्य
परश्वः गमिष्यति। अस्तु अस्तु अस्तु, परश्वः गमिष्यति। उत्तमम्। तर्हि आगामि
I want to say on 29th
आम्
सर्वसखा कलकत्ता आगमिष्यामि।
आहा, उत्तमम्। नव अस्तु अस्तु। तर्हि
बहु पूजा पंडाले गमिष्यामि।
29तमे दिने भवती मित्रैः सह कलकत्ता नगरं गमिष्यति खलु? उत्तमम्। तर्हि इदानीम् अग्रिम वर्गः सोमवासरे भवति। तदा भवन्तः अत्र न भवति खलु? तृतीयदिनाङ्के भवन्तः भवति वा वर्गार्थं? कति जनाः गच्छन्ति तत्र? I'm just curious to know, like, the next Monday, will we be having our session or no? Because if most of you are there, I just want to know, like, are you all available on 3rd?
Maybe difficult, Guru.
Difficult, no? Yeah. I know many of you are going there, na?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So we'll see if it's most of you are not there, then we will possibly find a different day. Possibly we could have a session on 5th or something like that, depending on when you all are back. Online is also okay. For Vijayadashmi, we will schedule it. Are you all back on 5th?
Yes, 4th we are back.
Okay, so 5th we will possibly schedule a small thing because Vijayadashmi is there. Let's recite something new and have some learning on Vijayadashmi. So we will not have our session on 3rd. Instead, we will schedule it on 5th. timing also you all can let me know, because Vijayadashmi, I know many of you will be occupied throughout the day. So we can figure out an ideal time for all of us so that it's workable.
It's better to do
Shwa
it at 8:30
Mahalaya.
only.
Okay.
Mahalayaye बहुजनाः गङ्गास्नानं करोति.
सत्यं सत्यं महालय पक्षः खलु, अतः
महालक्ष्मी।
गङ्गास्नानं करोति. सत्यं सत्यं. ह्यः ह्यः महालयः आसीत् खलु. आं सत्यं सत्यम् उत्तमं सम्यक्.
Can I go ahead, Guru?
आम् आं कृपया.
अद्य नवरात्रि आरम्भम् आसीत्.
अद्य इत्युक्ते अस्ति पर्याप्तम्. अद्य नवरात्रि. Actually speaking, in Samskrita grammar, I just want to highlight this. We are using the Sankhya, right? So when you're using the Sankhya, do you remember that we learned that Sankhya also has a gender from 1 to 5, right? So we say dvau, dve, dve, trayaha, tisraha, trini. You remember that we learned all that, right? Now, after 5, when it comes to 6, it is all supposed to take a napumsakalinga only. So, shad, sapta, ashta, that is how we usually say, right? So, nava, when it comes, it's supposed to be a neuter gender. So, ratrim is the correct usage. Navaratrim. Navaratri is become more of a practice why all of us use. So, Navaratri is actually a Strilinga, and Nava will not be a Strilinga. You get what I mean? So, Navaratrim is the right way of using. Of course, because we are so used to using Navaratri in every other context, we don't correct people. But when we speak in Sanskritam, we'll have to remember this consciously. Right?
So I will say today Navratri starts. So Adya Navaratrim Arambham Asti.
Navaratrehe Arambhaha Asti.
We can also say
Navaratri
over here ekam.
Ekam? Prathamadinam.
Prathamadinam or ekam we can't say.
Ekam you don't use, right? We say it's the start of Navaratri. So Prathamadinankaha.
Mama mandire murti alankarit kritva pujam karomi. Aham praparashvaha Kolkata nagre gachami.
Kolkata nagaram gachami. Gamishyami. Bhavishyat kalaha. Gamishyami kalu. I will be going.
Gamishyami. Correct. Nagaram. Sarve bhaginyaha saha Kolkata puja pashyami.
Kolkata nagare pujam pashyami.
Pashyamaha.
You're saying from your context, right? Sarva bhaginyehi saha pujam pashyami. Ataha sarva bhaginyehi api pujam pashyanti. So it depends on how you want to frame your sentence.
Okay. Ati santosham anubhavami.
Uttama. Ati santosham anubhavami. Samyak.
Guru,
Renu Bhagini.
नवरात्र समये संपूर्ण भारत वर्षे शक्ति पूजां भवति. इदानीं नवरात्रिम् अहं प्रथम पञ्चदिने उत्तर भारते अस्मि. तदनन्तरम् अहमपि कलकत्ता प्रान्ते गमिष्यामि. बहु समय अनन्तरम् अहं दुर्गा पूजा पश्यामि. हृदये अत्यंत सुखम् अनुभवामि.
पूजां पश्यामि तत्र पुनः द्वितीया भवति खलु.
प्रतिदिने अहं महालक्ष्मी अष्टकं स्तोत्रं च महिषासुरमर्दिनी स्तोत्रं पाठं करोमि.
उत्तमं. प्रतिदिनं. प्रतिदिनम्.
प्रतिदिनम्. अहं प्रतिदिनम् उपवासं करोमि.
एवं किं खादति? फलाहारः?
फलाहार.
उत्तमं सम्यक्.
अति आनन्दं शक्तिम् अनुभवामि.
सात्विकशक्तिं भवति सत्यं सत्यं
सात्विक शक्ति
सम्यक् सम्यक्
धन्यवाद
सम्यक् उत्तमं
नवरात्रि समये प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी
आम् निर्जल उपवासं करोति
निर्जल
खलु
उपवासं करोति
आम् सत्यं सत्यं निर्जल उपवासः अनन्तरं सः सर्वत्र अटनमपि करोति इंटरनेशनल ट्रैवल सर्वं कृत्वा तदापि सः निर्जल उपवासं करोति उत्तमं सम्यक्
गुरु
आम्।
मम गृहे पूजां नास्ति
अस्तु
मम होटेल् सवेरायाः अहं सर्वे जनाः पूजां करोमि
भवती सर्वैः जनैः सह पूजां करोति आम् अहम् इन्स्टा मध्ये अपि दृष्टवती एक रक्तवर्ण बॉर्डर सहित वस्त्रं सुजाता भगिनी अनु भगिनी नीना भगिनी च हैगिरी नन्दिनी उक्तवन्तः खलु आम् दृष्टवती सम्यक्
सर्वे जनाः पूजां करोमि बहु भजनं सम्यक् प्रसादं भोजनं करोमि
आहाहा तत्र उपवासः अत्र सम्यक् भोजनम् उत्तमम् उत्तमं सम्यक्
प्रति सायंकाले सुन्दरवस्त्रं धारामि
आहा प्रति सायंकाले सुन्दरवस्त्रं धरामि सम्यक् 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 उत्तमवाक्यं सम्यक् उत्तमम् अतः भवती अपि कल्कटा नगरं गमिष्यति खलु एतत् नवरात्रि निमित्तं कल्कटा नगरं गमिष्यति खलु आम् राजी भगिनी
चेन्नै नगरे नवरात्रि पूजा बहु विशेषः अस्ति सर्वे महिलाः तस्याः गृहे गोलु स्थापितवत्यः गोलु संस्कृतलेन
सोपानम् इति वदतु गोलु इति वस्तुतः न भवति
गोलु स्थापितवत्यः मम गृहे
सोपानानि इति वक्तुं शक्नोति नवरात्रि निमित्तं सोपानानि स्थापितवत्यः इति वक्तुं शक्नोति प्रतिमा देवस्य प्रतिमा स्थापितवन्तः इति वक्तुं शक्नोति
मम गृहे अपि गोलु अहं स्थापयामि पञ्च सोपानानि बोम्मे केन्न
प्रतिमा
प्रतिमा ओके पञ्च सोपानानि प्रतिमाः
ईश्वरस्य रूपं चेत् प्रतिमा इति वक्तव्यम् இந்த செட்டியார் பொம்மை அது இது அப்படினா வந்து பாஞ்சாலிகா इति वक्तुं शक्नोति
पाञ्चालिका
मुम्बैकी पाञ्चालिका
पञ्च सोपानानि स्थापयामि तत्र ईश्वरस्य प्रतिमाः च अन्य पाञ्चालिका च स्थापयामि पाञ्चालिकायाः च स्थापयामि प्रतिदिनं सायंकाले अन्य भगिन्याः मम गृहे आगच्छन्ति ताम्बूलं
मम गृहम् आगच्छन्ति
ताम्बूलं ददामि
दास्यामि भविष्यत्काले
ताम्बूलं दास्यामि सुण्डल् भक्षणमपि दास्यामि
उत्तमम् उत्तमम् उत्तमं सुन्दर सुण्डल् भक्षणानि अपि दास्यामि सम्यक्
भक्षणानि
आम् केवलम् एकभक्षणं चेत् कथं खलु भक्षणानि ददातु वयं खादामः सम्यक् 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 उत्तमं सुधा भगिनी अस्तु अस्तु चिन्ता नास्ति लक्ष्मी भगिनी
What do you say to after what is
Anantaram.
And Guru, this year the puja in Calcutta has become a UNESCO World Heritage Festival.
Oh, evam. Yeah, wow. Oh, aha. सम्यक् खलु महान् सन्तोषः सर्वे तत्र
I was trying to find a word for UNESCO. I could not find it.
No, तादृशपदानि
UNESCO only.
Yeah, UNESCO. किमर्थम् इत्युक्ते हिन्दी यदा सम्भाषणं कुर्मः एतादृशमेव उपयोगं कुर्मः खलु. We don't attempt to change the general words.
General words.
अन्य कोऽपि वक्तुम् इच्छति वा? लक्ष्मी भगिनी, सुजाता मुंड्रा भगिनी, सुशी भगिनी, अन्य रेणु भगिनी वदतु.
What is jaw, the barley called in Sanskrit? Like it's wheat. Wheat. Like wheat. Like wheat, we have jaw. Jaw is what we do is we sow that.
No. Jaw is another cereal. It's not husk. It's like
what
barley.
Is that?
It's like barley. It's like barley. It's like barley. Before the barley is made, it has a husk on it. That is called jaw. I don't know what it's called,
but we grow that, we sow that on the first day in a ghata, and that grows very well, like grass. It grows.
The grass
very
grows,
high.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but usually dhanya, different varieties of dhanya we use.
Dhanya.
Yeah.
And then on the Dashehra day, we do puja with that. That is very auspicious in our part of the country.
Okay. Wow.
Because it's a land of agriculture.
कलशं स्थापयन्ति. कलशस्य अन्तः धान्यमपि स्थापयन्ति. अनन्तरं दशमदिनाङ्के तत् स्वीकृत्य
स्थापयन्ति. तत्र सस्यानि अतिशीघ्रं वर्धते.
उत्तमं. तत्र सस्यानि अतिशीघ्रं वर्धते.
दशहरा दिने सर्वे पूजा
तत् स्वीकृत्य पूजां कुर्वन्ति.
धन्यवादः.
उत्तमं. सम्यक्.
अहं 35 वर्षे अनन्तरं कोलकाता पूजा पश्यामि.
ओ एवं वा? 15 वर्षानन्तरम्. आहा. उत्तमं. सम्यक्.
Guru.
I think all of us, I'm doing it after 30 years, Guru.
एवं? ओ. 30 वर्षानन्तरं 15 वर्षाणि अनन्तरं सम्यक्. आहा.
अष्टमी दिनाके मम गृहे पूजां करोमि.
Halwa, puri.
Typical, what do we say?
Vastavikam, you tell the sentence, I'll try to.
It's a typical food for that day. Bhojanam.
तर्हि विशेषभोजनं तस्मिन् दिने तादृशमेव करोति. अस्तु. पारम्परिकभोजनं.
विशेषभोजनम्.
अस्तु. उत्तमं. सम्यक्. अतः एतादृशम् इदानीं सम्भाषणम् अभवत् खलु. एतादृशं यदा पूजा भवति, यदा अन्य किमपि कार्यं कुर्मः, संस्कृते अपि चिन्तयन्तु. तदा सरलतया भिन्नपदानि आगच्छन्ति, सम्यक् भवति. उत्तमम्. अतः इदानीम् अहं 2-3 विषयान् वक्तुम् इच्छामि. Unless Lakshmi Bhagini, Sujata, Shankar Bhagini, Shraddha Bhagini, do you want to say some sentences? Or I'll go ahead with some thoughts. So, typically, this Navaratri time, we spend on the chintana about divinity, about spirituality, and bahu vishayan vayam etadrisham chintayamah. Tada asmakam manasi eka shuddhata swayam agachati. Idanim Redu Bhagini uktavati aham kevalam palam swikaromi tada mama manasi shuddhihi agachati iti. Anubhagini api aham Kalkata gamishami chete eka binna anubhavaha bhavati iti. Sujata Mundra Bhagini tu kada gantavyam iti ritya eva tasyaha manasi idanim devyaha anubhavaha jataha. Atah tadrisham etadrisha navadinani vayam ईश्वरस्य विषये चिन्तयामः, मातुः विषये चिन्तयामः खलु. अतः किं भवति, सामान्यं प्रत्येक किमपि एक विशेष कार्यक्रमं पश्यामः चेत् एकदिनं वा दिनद्वयं भवति तावदेव. इदानीं whatever function, be it Deepavali, be it Kartika, be it anything, we celebrate it for a day, max 3 days, something like that. Even Shankaranti, though it is from different perspectives, 4 days, Navaratri is like 9 days of festival which is given to the femininity, the feminine power. So अस्माकं संस्कृतेः विषये यदि वयं चिन्तयामः कीदृश एक उत्तमविषयः पश्यतु 9 दिनानि केवलं महिलाः कृते. And what all do we accomplish at this time? Number one, ecology. And it is like people in the north celebrate it for a different reason, differently. People in the south celebrate it for a different reason and differently. But end of it, everything helps the humanity and other species, other living things, everything. So let's just take some examples because we are thinking about Navratri. So let me go with South. I'm quite familiar with what happens there. Raji Bhagini was telling that we make all the Golu Pratimas and then we place it in the Sopanams, right? So why are we doing that at this point of time? Because the soil is now getting ready. You know, a lot of sowing, harvesting, everything, you know, depending on the season. Only now when they are harvest, during Shankaranti, we will have all the crops coming up. Okay, because that's the season time. So a lot of plowing is going to happen now, because of which a lot of clay comes out. So when this clay comes out, instead of wasting all the clays, people apply their creativity to it. And in our culture, Sanatana Dharma Vishaye, Sarvada Bhakti Tatra Yojeti eva. Whatever we do, it is connected to Bhagavan, devotion, etc., etc. There is nothing standalone. Think of music, devotion comes. Think of dance, devotion comes. Think of food, devotion comes big time. Whatever we think, it is always, the underlying current has always been the Bhakti Bhava. So when it comes to so much of clay being wasted, people are like, no, let's make, you know, divinity come into it. So they make beautiful pratimas of all the deities. Now, when so much is done, you know, when we dress up also, we want to click a snap and put it in social media, right? So it's like when so much of creativity is applied, people want to display it. So what is the best way to display? Okay, now organize it in a very nice way. Invite people home. So when you want to invite people home, that's the next beautiful option of number one, exhibiting your creativity talents, involving people of different age groups, which we always think about, and respecting women. All these three are accomplished in our Navaratri. Ataha chintayati chet pashyatu, vayam sopanani iva stapayamaha, alankaram kurmaha, bahu binna ritya, idanim thematic sarvam api kurmaha, kintu tadrisham. Anantaram lagu balakanapi yojayitva park karotu, etat karotu, tat karotu, it sarvam vadamaha. ज्येष्ठाः कलशं स्थापयन्ति, भगवतस्य प्रतिमा च स्थापयति, एतादृशं कुर्वन्ति. अतः भिन्न भिन्न वयः चेत् अपि अत्र कार्यक्रमे योजयितुं शक्नुमः. So different age groups, people still come into this. Anantaram, this is an opportunity for us to explain about our heritage, our Puranas, the ancient stories, literature, to the next generation or to people who want to learn, right? So people place something. Now, who is this deity? Why is he lifting his leg? You tell the Trivikrama Charitra. So what is, this person doing here? Who is this person? So you explain about possibly, the Bali Chakravarti, a lot of things like this. So we connect our Puranas, Itihasas as an opportunity to, at this point of time. So all these are taken care of, involving people of different generations, bringing out our Itihasa Purana, the relevance to the current generation and to people who are keen to know, inviting women, respecting women. Respecting women becomes so important on this. So Kanika, you call the little girls and you treat them with so much of respect. So where is the question of abusing girls? It's like you invite them, treat them as if they are the goddess who are visiting your house. Ataha kanyaha nimittam tambulam vayam dadmaha. Special tambula we give for the little girls who are invited at this time. If elders come, they are respected, we give tambulam to them. So we want not just our talents to be exhibited, we encourage their talents also to be executed. And it's like, okay, why don't you sing? Why don't you dance? Why don't you say some stotra? Why don't you do something, So we offer it. very interesting thing is, I was telling you, this is the time where, the seeds start, a lot of flowing happens, and lot of, different kind of soil related things happen. So the sprouting is also prominent at this time, So people make a lot of healthy food with sprouts. So sundals becomes the distribution. And because we need to have a balanced diet, people even change the color of sundal every day. So every day we have a color. Every day we have different ingredients which go in. We distribute it. We look forward to people consuming it. So Annadanam happens. Our sharing of joy happens. Enhancing creativity, talents happens. Recycling or upscaling the clay happens. Importance to women. Everything happens during this Navarathri time. So it is a very, very significant festival in our Sanatana Dharma. So it is a good idea for us to share some of these thoughts with people, because it's not like, we are just placing some things here. It's not that. And we look at it as different reasons. There are people who do just Lakshmi Puja all the 9 days. So in temples like Tirupati, Srirangam, Srivilliputur, it's all Lakshmi Puja. There are many temples who do just as Durga Puja, like how Sujata Mundra Bhagini was mentioning. It's all about Durga Puja, which is mentioned in the Devi Mahatmyam. Like Durga Devi takes the avatara, and when we say Durga, if you look at Veda, the Durga Sukta basically explains it as Agni. It is just fire. The fire is Durga. So that is the way the Durga Sukta actually explains Durga. And that fire gets the power from every single source. So Vishnu, Brahma, Rudra, all the other deities, everybody give their powers to the form, and that becomes a feminine form of exhibition. And that kills the Mahishasura, who had a boon because of which he could never be destroyed. And that is the main reason why it's celebrated in many locations, including Calcutta. In fact, Mysore celebrates it for that reason, the Mahishasura Mardini. And in South, they celebrate 3 days of that, of Mahishasura Mardini. So it is said that we keep this steps form, right, of Navratri Golu in the Sopanani. That is because now Durga Devi is calling everybody. She does a team building activity there. She discusses with everybody on how best can we tackle this person. So that is the reason you include everything in the Sopanam. So starting from the Kalasha and Bhagavan and everything, all species join the discussion and contribute, what they can in the thing. So you will see the Devas, you will see like, the Chettiars and all, we keep the doll, because trading is also important. You keep even the dolls, you keep other species. Everyone gets involved in this charcha of discussion before they decide their strategy on how the Mahishasura has to be attacked. So the same story represented differently in different location happens. And we also celebrate 3 days for, goddess Mahalakshmi. As I said, some places, all 9 days are given to her. Some places, 3 days we give to Mahalakshmi. So it's like, give us all the fortunes. Here, in the other world, everything. Fortune means Mahalakshmi. So that happens. And the final concluding 3 days is on Mata Saraswati, because knowledge is very important. So we try to gain knowledge. In fact, at the end of it, on the 9th day, we place all the things which are our tools of trade. Ours is the only culture which respects the tools of trade rather than thinking it's to be used by us. So we pray to Bhagavan to grant us the knowledge, because unless we get that, we might learn how many other things. We will not get into the subtleties. Learning is very different from getting the actual knowledge pertaining to it, right? Like books can have knowledge, our computers can have knowledge, but only when we get it into our muscles and implement it, it becomes meaningful. So we pray to Bhagavan to bring that to us, to help us implement what we learn. So the tools of trade, be it our books, be it our computers, be it any gadget of our learning source, and the farmers keep their plows for puja. I used to support an interior designing firm. I have seen them keep all the drills and the equipments that they use for designing part of the puja. So everybody keeps their tools of trade on puja. So tadeda bhavati tasmin dine upayogam na kurmaha. Even for cars and other things which help us travel, we respect everything that day. So we don't really use it that day. We give a rest to everything on that day, including our own brain. We allow it to relax, allow it to be in Bhagavad Chintanam, everything. The next day, we start everything new. So Vidyarambaha bhavati, Vijayadasmi dine. Tada nutana kimapi prayatnam chet tada prarambham kurmaha. You don't even have to see a good timing on that day. Any time is considered auspicious time on the Vijayadasmi day. So you can start any skills that you want to develop, anything which you're already into to enhance it, you do on the Vijayadasmi day. And it is called as Vijayadasmi because Vijaya is another name of Arjuna. All of us know about how the Pandavas were banished to the forest after playing the gambling. They were banished to the forest for 12 years. So 12 years, Arjuna had to be in different forms, had to hide. He's such a powerful warrior. When he comes, people respect him. He is known for his Gandiba, but he had to leave his Gandiba away, take the form of a lady to hide himself so that Duryodhana will not find him. Because if he is found out, 12 years extension of the forest life would continue, not only for him, for all his brothers and Draupadi also. So to avoid that, he will go in the form of a lady and be in the kingdom, teach some dance and music to the princess there and things like that, and live. This was the day when he could retrieve his Gandiva after 13 years. 12 years are over, 13th year beginning, he retrieves his Gandiva, and that new energy comes into his body. He's like, my Gandiva is back with me. It's like more than his life for him. So he's got back his life, kind of a thing. So at that time, Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya, Karna, the entire army of the Kauravas are fighting on one side. And because the king was not there, the prince of the place where these people were hiding, the prince had to fight, who was amateur. Now, even real mature people can't fight the Kaurava army when Bhishmacharya and all are there. So, because 12 years are over and 13th year is beginning, Arjuna took his Gandiba, single-handedly, he fought the entire Kaurava army, and he succeeded just by being one person there. The two with an amateur charioteer. So because Arjuna won over all the Kauravas on this particular day, we remember this day for valor, for power, for victory also. So this is called as Vijaya Dasami. So Vijaya is victory, the Dashami where Arjuna, whose name is also Vijaya, actually succeeded. We acknowledge him for his greatness on this day. Therefore, it's called as Vijaya Dasami. So that day, because of all the success, we celebrate it as a day of power, valor, and success also. So many stories. I thought it's relevant for us to, have these thoughts because Navarathri is just starting. So,
Guru, in the north, it's also victory over Ravana. So they have the effigy of Ravana where they, in the Ram Leela ground in Delhi, they fire targets at the effigy and they burn it up.
Exactly. So Ravana, victory, many places we see, here it is like they'll have the 10 heads of Ravana and then a bow will come and the fire will destroy Ravana. So it is always like good over evil. The message is communicated like beat Mahishasura, beat Ravana, beat anything. In our Lakshmi Ashtakam also we learned Kola Asura Bhayankari, over Asura she won over. And more importantly, it is we winning over our own negative thoughts. We have a lot of internal enemies, be it, starting from laziness to sleepiness to postponement to, getting distracted with unnecessary things when we have to focus on a target. So we call this as the Shad Ripu, the 6 negative things that we have. So getting over the negative qualities, reaffirming to ourselves, getting aligned to the goal, focusing, getting to our target. So a reaffirmation happens on, this time of the year where we focus on the most important thing. So working against our own enemies, which stop us from achieving
What
what
is
we
the
want.
what is the significance of the nine nights, Guru? Why Navarathri?
Because the charcha happened for 9 days when Durga Devi was discussing with people. The charcha happened for 9 days and 10th day she won over it. That's mentioned in the Devi Mahatmya. So as a symbolism of that, we do it for 9 days.
And even on the Mahalaya day, when the idols and the deities are prepared, they do a chakshudan. So they give the eyes to the goddess on that day, and it's the end of the Shraddh Paksha. And you start the pujas from the first day, the Pratham Divas.
Yeah, because the Mahalaya Paksha is there, that is the time for the Pitrus. So that Pitru Paksha time is like, celebrated, and then we do this. So usually the Mahalaya Amavasa is when they make the steps ready and other things, and then they celebrate, and Dashami, the winning takes place. So that is how it is scheduled.
And even in Gujarat, Guru, they have the 9 days of Navarathri with Dandiya and Garba and Ras. So all over the country, it's celebrated differently.
Oh yeah, so for Krishna, the Ras, in fact, incidentally, in my Bhagavata series, I'm doing the Ras episodes, which is happening now. It is so touching, so touching. I can't tell you. I'm like so into it these days, like the Ras Leela of Bhagavan and the way the gopis look into Bhagavan at that point of time. They forget absolutely everything around us. The recent episode I was telling is like, they start adorning themselves, and Bhagavan's flute is heard. And it is as if a very, very powerful magnet is attracting the iron particles. They don't even know what they are doing at that time. One lady is like wearing her kajal. She forgets that the kajal has to be on 2 eyes. So just like that, she starts walking. Another lady is feeding her child. She forgets that, she starts walking. One lady seems to be serving food. Along with her, food and other items in the hand, the spatula, she just walks away like that. So everybody forgets what they are doing. So they are so damn attracted to Bhagavan, thinking that they are the only person who is like this. They go attracted. They are like looking at Krishna. And Krishna is one little kid of 8 years old when this happens. He is there standing so beautiful with his curly hairs and his yellow color vastra, playing the flute and all that. When they go there, they realize that it's not just that person. The entire village, all the women there were attracted by his flute, that hundreds of people are standing there, half dressed, half things in their hand, not knowing what they are doing. They are like so not even in their consciousness. They come there, they look at the child, but though he's a child, without realizing, they fall at his feet. They might be different age groups, different people, but they just fall at his feet. So this is so, so beautifully explained, that Krishna plays the flute, and how, they are like so into Krishna, the way they talk, the way they think, the way they respond, the humor they have, everything becomes Krishna. Everybody there becomes a replica of Krishna himself, that their answers, their behavior, their tone of voice, their smile is no different from Krishna. So throughout, you're seeing like Krishna, 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 Krishna. They are seeing a tree there. The tree is kind of bent, instead of standing straight. So they look at the tree, and like the tree is offering salutations to Krishna. So when the tree is bent, seeing that also, they are connecting it to Krishna. They are seeing some grasses. The grasses are standing straight. So looking at the grasses, they are like, hey, Bhuma Devi, are you having a horripilation because Krishna stamped on you? His feet in your body is creating horripilations on your body. And that is what we are seeing as the plants here, the grass. That's why it's standing erect. Everything they see is all Krishna for them. Whatever Anubhava is there, it's because of Krishna, for Krishna, by Krishna. That is the kind of environment which is created, which is like, oh my God, I want to be in Vrindavan now. It's so beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful. So that's the kind of rasa. And they have given 5 chapters for rasa in Srimad Bhagavata Purana, which stands for the 5 pranas. We have our inhalation, the exhalation. We have different kinds of vayu in our body. So those Panchavayus are these 5 different adhyayas in Srimad Bhagavata Purana, they say. That's like the breathing air itself of Bhagavata Purana. Without that, it can't have the same experience. Ah, wonderful. So, yeah, so we will, as discussed, have our next session on 5th. Same 8:30 is okay for all of you?
Time, Guru, 8:30 morning.
Are you all okay? Because I don't know your schedule. Being Vijayadashmi, you might have some plans. So would you like to confirm, or you want to check with everybody and then confirm the plans?
I think better to have it at the same time so that we can finish the class and then get on with everything else.
Okay.
I think that's a better idea.
8:30 is fine, Guru.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Vijayadashmi we will have. I'll try to teach something new. I'm in fact thinking, before we conclude, I just want this small discussion. I was thinking of doing one stotra on Vijayadashmi day. I started explaining it in our previous Jnananidhi about Ahimsa Pratamam Pushpam. But then I thought if I go into that, it will take too much of time. So I didn't explain it on that day. So I would possibly go into that stotra as a special stotra for us on that day, because that happens to be my Acharya Swami Vedanta Deshika's nakshatra also. So this sloka is also by him. So that will be very relevant so that Vijayadashmi and this can be combined in the stotra. And I also want to teach the Gita Sangraha to all of you. There are 700 slokas in Bhagavad Gita. So that has been condensed into like 32 slokas by Sri Alavandar. So this 32 slokas contains the entire essence of Bhagavad Gita. So I was thinking, if some point of time, all of you can, just like how we did the 10-day Shibiram, if you can allocate like a few days continuously, for possibly a week or less than that, it should take less than that, we could learn this grantha completely, which is Gita Sangraha, which can be our everyday recitation, which is like equal to reciting Bhagavad Gita itself every day. Instead of 700 slokas, this 32 slokas contains the essence of it. So I thought we could schedule that. So you all can discuss and tell me when you can allocate that time. It can be different. It could be in the evening or in the morning, depending on your availability. But it could be like a stretch so that we start and end it. So you can get.
How long would you like us to be at the class all those 7 days, Guru?
An hour possibly? Yeah.
1 hour duration?
1 hour duration. 5 to 7 days max, I think it will take 32 slokas. So
I would first think if we could start off on Vijayadashmi and continue for the next 1 week, or the next day after that. I mean, if you can do
that
it as
is,
a continuity.
that is possible, but I will be
not available at that time.
Ina, can we do it after Navarathri?
After Deepavali, it should be after Deepavali.
It's going to be really busy. I don't know. Let everybody say what they want to say.
Okay, we'll decide, Guru. We'll get back on this.
Yeah. It's better, but let's tentatively have 5 to 7 days at a stretch for that, so that we can conclude something. So, okay. Astu tarhi kayena vacha uktva samapayamaha. Kayena vacha manasendriyaiva buddhyatmana va prakrite svabhavat karomi yat yat sakalam parasmai narayanaayeti samarpayami. Achyutaya namaha Anantaya namaha Govindaya namaha Achyutaya namaha Anantaya namaha Govindaya namaha Achyutaya namaha Anantaya namaha Govindaya namaha. Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Ram Ram. And also think about this Varaha Charitra, which we've already explained, on when you want to have the Jnananidhi and when you want to schedule it, because I'm also going to be there. So you all can let me know how you want to plan it. Jai Shri Krishna.
Looking forward.
Yes, me too. This Friday night, midnight, I'm there. Ram Ram.
Looking forward to seeing you, Guru.
Yes.
Yeah, very happy.
So much.
Very happy to see you, Guru.
Yes. Have a wonderful Navratri. So looking forward to meeting you all. And Jai Shri Krishna. See you soon.
Jai Shri
Ram Ram.
Krishna.
Have a wonderful Navratri, everyone.